Purpose.
Hello, welcome to Youth of Purpose, a show that is here to give you an opportunity as a young person to empower yourself, understand your country, be able to put a brick in making sure that Uganda becomes better. My name is Ivan Tumukonde. Welcome to the show. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing something that I do believe is going to change your life and never leave you the same. Today, we are talking about self-discovery, defining your true self. Do you know who you are? Time and again, we keep talking about having vision, having things that we want to fulfill in our lives. But all that is determined by who you are. And today, we want to understand how you can be able to define who you are and understand what that can help you to fulfill what you are here in the world to do. And today I have a very knowledgeable person who is going to help us delve into this discussion. Daniel, welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything like self-discovery or someone knowing who they are?
How do you discover something that you make up? A self is a concept that you've made up. How do you discover something you've made up?
Can't you be lost in yourself? That you can't find who you are?
When you are so full of yourself, meaning you have made up a concept of who you are or a self, and now you are lost in that thinking it's better than all the other concepts.
So we always work to say we want to become something in life.
Yes, that means
So
you are nothing.
If you don't know who you are, then you're working to become what?
Anyway, let me begin here. When a child is born, is that child aware of the self that it is?
No.
That's a question. Are you sure?
It doesn't. Why actually I'm bringing about this topic is because of the questions I keep getting.
Yes.
You talk to young people and they keep asking you, I want to know my potential, what I can do and what I am, my cause. And as you're talking right now, you're telling me that if we are picking from the Bible, that by the time we are born, what we're supposed to be is already determined.
Let me put it in simple terms. For people, for the sake of our viewers, to understand your potential and who you are, there's an analogy that will help get you there easily. The analogy is through a question. Is the tree in the seed or the seed is in the tree?
Very tricky.
Now that's not a chicken and egg question when you think deeply about it. The chicken and egg doesn't have an absolute answer. But the seed and the tree has an absolute answer. Look at it this way. When you cut a seed open, you won't see a tree in there, which might elude you into thinking that there is no tree in the seed. If you don't find a tree in the seed, and yet when you plant it, there's a tree that shows up, then this is going to help you to really come to terms with the question of potential. Because there is no tree in the seed, but there is potential of treeness in the seed. Put it in the right environment.
Wow.
Put it in the right environment. Treeness will come out. Has no option. The problem with you is you want to see treeness, you're not thinking about the environment, and you're not thinking about the seed that you are. This is what I'm talking about when I said there's a seed inside of you. When you seated here, if you could give room to being quiet and silent at the same time. Within you, when you keep quiet, there's a conversation going on. This guy is not talking, but there is a conversation going on the inside. So when you ask me about self-discovery, my question then will be, do you want to know this body that you wear that makes a lot of noise, that has feelings, that has 5 senses? Or you want to know the one within that wonders whether things make sense?
Then it takes away the fact that we have to define you by what you do.
No, you must separate an individual from what they do. He's an individual first, and he does what he does. If I do bad or I do wrong today to you, does that take away the fact that I still have potential to do right or to do good by you tomorrow?
But you'll be a bad person today.
No, I made a bad choice. It doesn't make me a bad person.
Wow.
I made a bad choice. I have potential for making a better choice. So that doesn't make me a bad person just because I made a bad choice. That's where the problem is. We label people according to their choices, so you get lost in the quagmire.
We label them according to their deeds.
Okay, that's a whole different story if we start talking about why people do what they do.
Yes.
Because if we do explore that, you realize that even your deeds are not necessarily yours. They are emanating from a predisposition that you have from the way you've been nurtured.
So if what I am is not going to be determined by what I do, then why does it even make sense?
You've brought in a concept called what I am. Those are two different things. You must separate what you are and who you are.
Wow. Who and what are different.
They're very different. What is your name? I can't say who is your name. I say what is your name? Because your name was given to you when you already existed before. You were in your mother's womb, you didn't have a name. And when you're born, you got a name. You want to tell me you didn't exist before the name? Of course you existed.
Wow.
So can you be that name?
So
no.
One, the challenge is...
Yes, that's the challenge.
For the young people, I understand there are even adults actually who are fighting to make sure that they get to know their purpose in life. But most of the young people, and I'll say most of those in institutions of learning, the issue is they are confused to understand their purpose on earth. And it affects the decisions they make because they are like, okay, so what am I here for?
They want the fruit without the process.
Exactly. So someone is asking, what is my purpose for living?
Now, human beings, we think we are all one, and that's the problem. In our education system, we've been raised. Do you know what else they raise? They raise cattle.
Wow.
Do you know what else they raise? They raise chicken. Do you know what else they raise? They raise trees. Do you know what else they raise? They raise plants. They raise them to be the same way. In a particular way. That's why in your class, they teach you the same thing. The same concept. Expecting all of you to get the same concept so that they can produce the same thing.
When we are different people.
Yet you're different people. And that's where it begins from. How are you going to understand your nature if nobody has helped you to understand? Then look, first of all, you need to understand you are an individuated person. Now today, being individuated, to stand there alone, quiet in your place, most people hate being alone. That's why they are in abusive relationships.
How do I define my individuality?
By taking time off and sit with yourself. Will I understand you if I don't sit with you?
No, you won't.
I must sit with you.
So I have to sit with myself.
Exactly. I must sit with you, ask you questions, and you give me answers. And then when you don't have to give me answers, I ask you, I look at you, and I study you. And I say, why do you do those things that you do? Why are you predisposed to certain things? Why do you react to things the way you do? You need to do the same thing to yourself. Unfortunately, you're doing this for everybody else, and you're not doing it for yourself.
If I want to know myself, and I'm to be defined by, let's say, values, my personality, the things I do, the potential, bring about my abilities, can that help me to understand who I am and know my cause? I want us to put it in a simple perspective of a young person who wants to say, for the rest of my life, I'm going to be working on becoming this kind of person. So,
young people have been told that God created them and He gave them a purpose. Okay? I'll tell you, young person, there is no day you will sit there and heaven opens and it says, my daughter, my son, this is the reason I created you. You can wait all your life, it will never happen. Okay? Therefore, if you must know something, this is what you should know. A purpose is something that you're going to give to yourself. As simple as that. You're going to wake up and say, this is what I want to do with my life, and you go ahead and do that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We're going in for a short break. When we come back, we are finding more about, do you need actually to define who you are? And after doing that, how is that going to help you to live your life better? We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Youth of Purpose. My name is Ivan Tumukunda, and today I'm having Daniel, the therapist. We're still talking about defining your true self. What is your purpose in life? Daniel, what is purpose?
Purpose is the work that an object does for others.
Wow.
Purpose is the work an object does for others. An object could be a car. What's the purpose of a car? The purpose of a car is what it is able to do for you. Move you from point A to point B. If that car is unable to perform that purpose for you, it becomes useless. You will abandon it in the carbon, in the scrap yard.
Wow.
What's the purpose of a phone? The purpose of a phone is what it is able to do for you. Is communication in all its different ways, texting, calling, and whatever. You see, if it ceases to do that, it loses any value to the individual. So the purpose of an individual is what that individual is able to do for others. The moment people realize that you are doing nothing for them, you become useless to them, and they will not value you.
Wow.
So the reason you're looking for, as a young person, the reason you're looking for purpose is because you want to be valued in society and you want to be useful in society. That's why you're looking for purpose. You know, when we spiritualize these things, we're going to make it seem like, oh, hallelujah, sharabaka, sakata. No, this is how it is. Purpose is what you do for others so that people would think you are valuable. Then they are able to come to you and they are able to treat you with respect because they honor and value what you do for them. That is purpose.
When does someone start knowing that they need to have a purpose?
When does someone start knowing that they need a purpose? When you get to the age where society starts expecting stuff from you.
And what is that age?
Yeah, it's different for different societies. In Uganda, different societies would expect different things. In the West, your father would usually go with you to the farm and look after cattle. They train you. There comes an age where your father will not come with you. They will apportion you your number of cattle, your heads of cattle, so that you take them out and become responsible.
Wow.
Okay? They are trying to give you purpose in life. When it comes to the business world, your age, the moment you graduate, life expects you to be purposeful. The moment you leave university or the moment you leave your institution.
Wow.
Life expects you, people in your society, they expect you to be purposeful. Again, do something that will serve your community.
Wow.
Now, you must be wise that you choose a purpose that you can earn from. That's the other part. But please.
So how do I define what my purpose is?
How do you define what your purpose is? How you define your purpose is by understanding purpose. Purpose is whatever you do that is useful to society. So how do you define what your purpose is? You define your purpose by what abilities that you have. What are you able to do? What comes naturally to you? Talking, speaking, and making sense out of things come naturally to me. So I went and started to be a teacher in psychology. So I teach people, I help people. Okay. Another one will find it easy to drive. They enjoy driving. You desire driving. Become an Uber driver, or become a driver, or a long distance truck driver, or do whatever. Make a business out of that which you desire. Another one just desires to walk around. If you desire to walk around, then become a tour guide. Go around, take people around, take them to different places. Whatever that you are able to do as a human being, you can develop a purpose out of it.
How do you help someone who is in the confusion of what I can do, what I would love to do, what I like doing, and what I am supposed to do?
Let's first begin with the latter. The latter is supposed to do. There is nothing you are supposed to do. When you come as a human being, you have endless potential for stuff, endless possibilities. If you had come as a goat, all you needed to do was to eat and become eaten. When you come as a cow, we know your potential is limited. You only produce milk and eat and be eaten. If you had come as anything else, your potential would be around what to eat and to be eaten.
Wow.
When you come as a human being, you can be anything. You can be anything that you want. So there is nothing that you're supposed to do. That's why you can even choose to be an armed robber and God will not stop you. I'm not asking you to become an armed robber. I'm just giving you an example that you can be anything. And now the problem is confusion comes because you have a variety of things you can be.
Wow.
That's where confusion comes from. Now for me, if I'm to help you as a young person, I'll tell you, sit down, be sober, be quiet, don't drink, don't smoke, be sober for a moment. And think deeply and see, I am here. Don't ask what am I here for. Ask what am I going to do here.
Can people from the outside help one to define their purpose?
Of course.
How?
By looking at you and see your tendencies and what you're drawn towards, and they tell you negwe. Okalabira ku mukonda. so people can help you. In fact, that's the main reason why, as a human being, you're born in a family.
Wow.
The work of a parent, the work of siblings, the work of friends are to watch you and help you understand what you are good at. Because you may not know. You don't know you're good at something until people tell you you're good at it. Would you know you're good at what you do if people don't tell you you're good at it?
Not really.
You doubt yourself.
If you're marked.
Exactly. People must tell you. So society or family marks us in a way. They watch you and they mark you.
How about when you find that you are good at something, but that's not what you want to do?
Okay, now you're bringing in liking and not liking. People don't do what they like. People do what is necessary. I have blessed you and pray for you that you will get it in your head, that you will find a way to do what is necessary and not to do what you like. Because if I did what I like, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
I want to be at the beach right now. That's what I like. I want to be fishing at the beach right now. That's what I like.
Daniel, one, now someone is able to understand what their purpose is, either from their reflection or from listening to what other people tell them they are good at. How does that, knowing your purpose, help you then to do what we always want to, having a vision? My vision in life is to do this. This is what I want to become. How does knowing your purpose help you to achieve that?
A vision is a mental picture that you have, the way you want your life to go. A mental picture.
Okay.
There's an image that you have in your head of yourself, something that you see yourself be.
Yes.
Everybody is born with that, and life helps you to refine that along the way. That picture there is what we call a vision. Now, in order to achieve that, then we say there is what we call a plan.
You plan your life.
Life is a journey. You are where you are, but that's not where you want to be. You still feel you want to go somewhere. There is something that you think or believe you want to achieve. Usually you look at what others do and you refine your vision. Usually. So vision is not static. Static to me is not concrete. It can be refined. You can panel beat it, adjust it here to fit where you are, but also to fit the reality on the ground. You want to be an astronaut, you are in Uganda. You may want to panel beat that vision a little bit. Okay?
No.
So this vision, the image that you have, is that thing which you say you want to achieve in life. That one, in order to achieve it, you will need a plan.
Wow.
If I want to go to Masaka, I will need a plan. In this plan, you will consider some of the challenges and the hindrances that you might find along the way. You might get a puncture. A puncture is the tire might burst. What are you going to do? Abandon the journey and go back? The friends that you consider to be friends who are supportive now may not be as supportive tomorrow. What are you going to do? Give up on your dream just because those that supported you yesterday are no longer supporting you? What I mean, you need to develop a thick skin. A thick skin to mean be hard towards whatever you want.
Wow.
Let people fall off, but you must be dedicated to this plan that you've drawn. The plan might play a little bit today. You might think that you're going to go at 8 and it rains, yet you don't have a car and you don't have means of transport. It might be delayed a little bit, so it's bound to be, it's supposed to be adjusted.
If it's a vision, that means whether it's delayed, you have to keep working on it.
Indeed.
Wow.
There's an appointed time for everything. The moment a woman conceives, there's an appointed time to give birth to that baby. You may want all you want to be a mother in the next 4 months, but it's impossible. You have to be patient and wait and do what you're supposed to do. A waiter doesn't just sit and relax. A waiter prepares what she's going to serve. A waiter cleans herself and she dresses like a waiter, and then now she positions herself for those that will need her services.
Wow.
So even as you wait, then you're going to start working on yourself. You may want to work on your communication skills, because everybody that you're going to sell your dream to, you will have to communicate. So you may want to work on that. Find a way, read some more so that you can find a better use of whichever language that you intend to communicate in. Chinese, work on that, study, go get some classes. You may want to do that. You may want to work on your presentation, how you present yourself. You may want to work on how you think,
How you talk. Yes.
the kind of words you use. I mean, if you want to be a lawyer, you may want to get used to the jargons, the language of the law fraternity.
Yeah.
You may want to get friends in the law fraternity.
Doesn't that draw us to
That's planned.
the values that define your personality?
Okay, there are values which are in form of morals, which are inside somebody. This
Yes.
I cannot do. This
Yes.
it doesn't matter. For example, I don't pick money.
No.
Me as an individual, I'm content to that level. I don't pick money. That's
It doesn't matter
doesn't
whatever
matter
situation you're in, you will not pick
I've
money.
told my friends, look, there's money there. I don't pick money. Number two, I don't so I don't sleep around. Kubanga nenyinyala.
Yeah.
Is that my value or it's my moral system?
It's your
You see?
moral
It
value.
informs my values. What I have decided, my morals inform what I value. This thing I've learned to value it because it is what I want. It makes sense to me. So it becomes a value. So you may want to sit down as an individual and decide. That's why I said, people might tell you what to do, but eventually you should own this and sit down somewhere and decide and say, this is what I'm going to be accountable for.
Amazing. Lastly, Daniel, for the young person out there who would like to, one, go through this journey as we've been talking about, in a wrap-up, help them have those key points to take home, to say, this is what I need to do to understand who I am, this is what I need to do to work out my vision, work out a plan that I can be able to work on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, who are you? You are a human being with endless potential. You are a living being, human with endless potential. That's who you are. Now, you can adjust what you are. What you are is your profession, your title, your name. You can even change your name if you want. Your body type and your size and your color, that's what you are.
Who you are remains constant.
Who you are is constant. You are a human being, a valuable human being. That's what who you are, and that's what everybody that you see is. That is constant. Okay? Now, what you are able to change is what you are. You can adjust that as you see fit. You decide, you sit down and say, guess what? I want to become, what do I want? And even the word become is problematic because to become, it's as if to imply that who you are will change and you become something else.
Wow.
You are an individual who will one day die. That's the reality. Whether you do something or you don't do something, your time is going.
Yeah.
So the earlier, the better. So you sit and ask yourself what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. That will inform. A legacy is when you die, how do you want people to talk about you? When you leave school, whichever school you're going to, when you leave school, how do you want people to talk about you? If you don't go to school and you're not in class, how do you want people to talk about you in your class? Tell you what, it's only you who knows who you are, but the rest of the people will only look at what you are. What you are is how you carry yourself. Whatever you choose to do, every word that leaves your mouth and everything you choose to do, it impacts you or it affects your image as an individual.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daniel. It's been a pleasure having you, and always, Bobby. I thank you so much for watching Youth of Purpose. I do believe this show is going to transform you, and we'll give you an opportunity to be here every Saturday 2:30 p.m. and on Sundays at 9 p.m. Be able to understand the value that you're going to be able to add to the community, to this world where you are. That is going to help you to define your purpose. Know your values. What are those things that you do stand for as an individual? Know what you want to do that is going to help you to become the best version of yourself, and all that will help you to have a vision which determines what you're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis, and that will help you to move a life that is of purpose. I thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Follow me on all my social media platforms at I_Tumukunde on Twitter, Tumukunde on Instagram, Tumukunde Ivan on Facebook, Tumukunde Ivan on LinkedIn. I thank you so much. Daniel, maybe if you can kindly give them your handles to be able to follow you up.
Oh, yeah. Dan Robert Bale, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Thank you so much. See you next time.
Youth of Purpose.